It's something I just had to do. When we played him earlier, Hill went off on us. He backflipped in front of my face, gave me the peace sign. So it was only right that I gave him the peace sign right back to him. At this moment, it felt amazing to be able to do that.
Got sandwiched by multiple guys.
Pull
up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm your host of this dumb football show, Brandon. Can't we just live in a world where campaigning for peace and getting sandwiched between two guys is not a penalty, Perna? Congratulations to the Shaq Barrett-led Buccaneers and their Super Bowl win. Shaq remains undefeated in the big game, and now Chiefs fans can join us Broncos fans and Raiders and Chargers fans in the AFC West, knowing how shitty it feels to see your team get their ass kicked in the big game. Now, before the Super Bowl, Chiefs fans bought my loyalty by outselling Bucs fans by 113 t-shirt orders. So I stayed true, Kansas City. I rooted for you, but it proved fruitless on your journey to beat the officials. That said, something far more important, we have also raised $6,665 for the Alzheimer's Association, and once we get to 10,000, I destroy this giant Tom Brady son of a bitch Lego head in glorious fashion, in a way that will make you proud. The link is in the description, so please share it to help a good cause while also helping destroy the face of the guy we're most sick of seeing in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna destroy you. And this is the best and worst of Super Bowl 55, including the amazing Kevin Harlan call for the streaking fan. That's good sports. Big thanks to everyone who tuned in to the post-game live recap with Tom Grossi. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. Today's episode is brought to you by manscaped.com/goodsports. Now, Manscaped has been sponsoring this show for over 2 years now, which means my pubics have been on point for just as long. My favorite product Manscaped offers is the Performance Package Kit because it comes with everything you need to groom, which I now can do simultaneously. The new Lawnmower 3.0, the waterproof below the beer gut trimmer with skin-safe technology will mow down your pubes. The Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer, so you can clearly smell what you're hearing. And if you use my link below and code GOODSPORTS right now, you'll get a free travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs, which I'm wearing so I never chafe while shooting an episode. Plus, you get 20% off and free international shipping from the company that's been supporting this channel longer than anyone, Manscaped. Now, this Super Bowl felt like the least amount of effort Brady has ever had to put forth to get a win. And that's not a knock on Brady, that's just how dominant the Tampa D and offensive line was. Brady was sacked 1 time and was just pressured on 4 of his 30 dropbacks, the lowest of his Super Bowl career. I honestly think Tom checked out of the game mentally at halftime and started studying film for next season between series. Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand, well, he had the toughest outing of his career and was literally pressured more than any other quarterback in Super Bowl history by the Buccaneers defense. Best? Well, this happened before the game, but at the NFL Honors, Alex Smith won Comeback Player of the Year. I'm pretty sure he won it next year, too. He received 49 of the 50 votes, with Ben Roethlisberger getting 1. That voter has also been addicted to porn and knows exactly how hard that is to come back from. Just hearing the word comeback can trigger the addiction. Worst, Aaron Rodgers won his 3rd MVP award and also revealed,
I got engaged, and I played some of the best football in my career.
I guess this is the only way he can put another ring on it. Best commercial, in my opinion, was the Timothée Chalamet as Edgar Scissorhands. The funniest commercial, though, may have been the Alexa commercial with Michael B. Jordan as the perfect embodiment of Alexa.
Alexa,
Turn on the sprinklers.
Honey, I already ran the sprinklers. Things are getting way too wet around here.
Nobody's disputing that, Michael B. Jordan. Worst commercial? All of the rest. Best, Tom Brady takes the first sack of the game. Worst, that was the only mother-licking sack. He never even had to think about taking a sack for the duration of the game after that. Worst, Patrick Mahomes avoids a near certain sack, only to be betrayed by Tyreek Hill, who literally let the ball go right through his hands and hit him in the fucking face. Because of that drop, the Chiefs' first score would just be a field goal. Best, Tom Brady has never scored a touchdown for his team in the first quarter of any of his Super Bowl appearances. And since the announcers mentioned that, of course, Tom finally broke the curse by hitting Gronk on the only play he would not need speed to score. A very Andy Reid-like play designed to get Gronk wide open in the flat and create a touchdown for his QB after throwing the ball 3 yards through the air. Best, JPP gets a hand on the ball here. Kinda. You know it might be a long night when JPP's fingers are making a difference. That's what she said. Here's what I'll say about the flags from the officials in this game. It was a big story. Do I think you could call Kansas City on all or most of those penalties? Yes. However, the NFL needs consistency in the postseason. We saw the Bucs and Packers get to be very physical in the secondary in the championship game. And then a game later in the Super Bowl, they're going to call any and all contact? I also have a hard time believing the Bucs defense didn't do the same. 3 of the 4 Buccaneers touchdown drives were aided by at least one penalty, so it did affect the game, right or wrong. Best, center Ryan Jensen showing the world you don't fuck with my hometown of Pueblo. He might be the best lineman in the league at baiting defenders into penalties. Dude plays dirty, just like all of us Pueblo kids. Not quite as literally because we just played in the dirt in the prairies, but you build one fort out of tumbleweeds and tell me it's not awesome. The Chiefs did stop the Bucs on a 4th and goal. This came a couple plays after the Bucs lineman Joe Haig dropped this touchdown pass. Could have been a great big man TD. On 4th down, Tampa elected to hand off to Ronald Jones. How do you not give the ball to your bigger, stronger running back in that situation? You go with Jones over Mike Allstott on the goal line? Come on, Tampa. Best, Sarah Thomas became the first woman to officiate a Super Bowl game. However, I learned her son's name is Brady. So if you think that isn't a clear sign of this game being fixed, I don't know what is. Worst, the Chiefs punter shanking a punt after a penalty forced him to re-punt the punt he dropped on the snap the play before. This is what you get though for cutting a Colquitt, a move the Broncos never recovered from. The Broncos and Chiefs have never won a Super Bowl since cutting Dustin and Britton Colquitt. You don't quit on a Colquitt, or this is what you get. Best, seeing Tom Brady's ass get saved by a terrible holding call. I almost forgot how maddening this was in a Super Bowl. This series was really dumb. The Chiefs have an interception negated by a defensive hold. That was ticky-tacky. They hold the Bucs to a field goal, but line up offsides like real idiots. Then Gronk scores a touchdown, and the refs throw a defensive holding flag there just to be safe. The officials called holding on the Chiefs' defense a lot. Something I wish they would have done to the Seahawks' grabby secondary in Super Bowl 48. Now, from NFL Stats Twitter, Rob Gronkowski has joined Jerry Rice as the only player in history with multiple receiving touchdowns in multiple Super Bowls. Gronk has 5, Rice has 8, and they are the only players with 5+ career receiving touchdowns in the big game. Best, Roger Goodell pretending to listen to Ciara talk, while we all know he was just trying to think of ways he could fine her, probably for having pink hair. You know Goodell dreams of walking away from it all just to become a professional meter maid. Worst, Chiefs taking a timeout thinking they were going to get the ball back before halftime. The Bucs pick up the first down and then take a deep shot Like we didn't just see this exact same fucking scenario play out 2 Sundays ago. It's like the Chiefs watched 0 Bucs game film. But instead of hitting Scooty for the tug, Mike Evans draws the pass interference call. Was that bad? I don't know. But just to really make sure the Buccaneers scored in less than a minute, the officials call another pass interference in the end zone on a ball that Brady was throwing away. Buccaneers are up 21-6 heading into the half, and Tom Brady gets the first ever pass interference call on a clear throwaway in Super Bowl history. Best, Tyrann Mathieu getting flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct for doing the biggest no-no in all of sports, having the audacity to talk back to Tom Brady. In a since deleted tweet, Tyrann Mathieu said Brady called him something he would not repeat. What did Tom call the honey badger that was so bad? Honey varmint? Beaver badge? Or the worst of all of nature's creatures, the dick-nosed proboscis? The Chiefs set the record for most penalties in the first half of a Super Bowl with 8 for 95 yards. That was more than Mahomes' 67 passing yards in the first half. Then the Weeknd started playing, and I thought, you know what? This is the best socially distanced music performance I have ever seen. And I used to go to coffee shops to listen to Ed Sheeran wannabes play acoustic guitar. Then the Weeknd brought out these masked dancers that looked like they had all had facial reconstruction surgery. Probably a tribute to Tom Brady. And it turned into a terrifying halftime performance. My baby started crying. And I think she thought they were all just wearing diapers on their faces, which to her is probably the scariest thing she can imagine. Best, Kevin Harlan on the call.
He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. He's being chased to the 30. He breaks a tackle from a security guard. The 20, down the middle, the 10, the 5. He slides at the 1, and they converge on him at the goal line. Pull up your pants. Take off the bra and be a man.
Worst, Tony Romo has lost his magic psychic touch.
It's the thing, they're getting caught. Like you see that one with Mathieu. I mean, that could have easily been called on Brady, and they gave it to Mathieu there, so.
Tony. Brady flagged? Have you recently participated in some crack cocaine smoking? Or were you just too focused on your pee dribble? Best, in a game with some of the fastest players in the league, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Scotty Miller, Chris Godwin, it was Gronk who was uncoverable. The same Gronk the Bucs used to block almost all season because he's so slow now. Playoff Lenny opened the Buccaneers halftime series with a big touchdown run, turning into Super Lenny right before our eyes. Worst, Mahomes' final stat line looks a lot worse than he actually played. He finished with 2 interceptions and a bunch of wasted effort on great plays that will be forgotten forever because the Chiefs were dominated for the entire game. Only Mahomes did some actual only Mahomes shit in this game, only to watch his receivers drop it pretty much every time. Now Mahomes knows how lucky he was to not get drafted by the Texans. Worst, Ryan Jensen snapping the ball over Tom Brady's head and it not mattering at all. This cursed the Broncos in Super Bowl 48 and cost them 2 points. The Bucs? They just got a more impressive field goal from Ryan Suckup. Impressive game from all the kickers, really. Suckup was 1 for 1 with 4 extra points, and Butker was, according to the scoreboard, the only Chief that mattered. Sorry to everyone who bet on a doink. Best, me having hope the Denver Broncos could possibly sign Levante David this offseason. I've literally watched every linebacker and safety in the AFC West fail miserably while trying to cover Travis Kelce. Now, Kelce did eventually end up with 10 catches for 133 yards in this game, but it felt like the best job anyone's done on him all season, and most of those yards did come in garbage time. You could make a strong case for any of these Bucs linebackers getting MVP, but we know that as long as you don't turn in one of my biggest postseason quarterback choke jobs of all time, the winning quarterback almost always gets MVP, because voters are stupid, no matter what they vote for. Worst, Tony Romo saying taunting is bad.
It is taunting, and that's totally unnecessary. Shouldn't do that. You see Winfield taunting, and I don't like that or condone that at all. Tyreek Hill working hard to get open all day, and Winfield feels like you're kicking a guy when he's down.
Tony, do you know who you're defending?
Feels like you're kicking a guy when he's down.
The last powerful man to hate peace this much was Nixon in the 60s with the hippies.
You see Winfield taunting, and I don't like that or condone that at all.
If you can dish it, you have to be willing to take it. And Tyreek Hill got pieced the fuck out here. Finally, the Big Dick Player Awards, which, unlike the Super Bowl MVP, values the integrity of the game and honors the guys who actually played their asses off. I would have liked to give this award to Gronk. He had a great, impactful game, and even Super Bowl Lenny's 5.6 yards per carry was impressive, but the Bucs' true heroes were their offensive linemen. They were perfect. Like I said at the top of the episode, Brady faced the least amount of pressure he's ever had in a Super Bowl. Also, Todd Bowles gets the Big Dick Player Award for having one of the best defensive game plans I've seen in a Super Bowl. It must be destiny when you think about his last name, though. Kansas City averaged 29.6 points per game in the regular season. His unit held them to 3 field goals. Tevin White was lights out. He had 12 tackles in this game, and Shaq Barrett had 4 quarterback hits in addition to his sack. A truly impressive performance against one of the toughest offenses to defend against in the league. So, good job to everyone in Tampa Bay. I'm gonna blow you up into a million pieces, and it's for a good cause. You're gonna unwillingly help so many people, you dirty. Link in the description for the Alzheimer's Association if you care to support. Thanks for watching Best and Worst of Super Bowl 55. Thanks for watching the Best and Worst episodes all season long. Knowing you guys were coming back for that shit fueled me. It gave me the fuel I needed.